Here's a quick guide to using Procreate and the 10 tools that you basically need to know to use any drawing software. And also, we're going to stick to just the essentials. Basically, I have 10 tools, just 10 tools that you need to know, keep in mind when it comes to using any drawing software. You just need to look for these 10 tools and just use the software using these 10 tools. And over time, as you go about using the software, what will happen is you'll know all the intricate details of the software. But these 10 tools will give you 80% of the results that you're looking for. So with that said, let me show you how Procreate works. Now, we're going to open up the software. And when I open up the software, you have right here what we call the gallery. Gallery is where you have all your artworks in, all the different kinds of artworks that I've created over the days. It's all in here. Now, we're going to go through this lesson with an objective in mind, and that objective is to draw something. We're going to draw something, and through that process of drawing something, we are going to know the 10 tools. We're going to learn the 10 tools. So here's how it works. So first up, we're going to create a new canvas. So once we get into the gallery, right here on top right, you have the plus icon. Just click that. You have all the options that you have to create a new canvas. Let's just keep it simple, right? We're just going to select a resolution that works for us. And that would be the screen size. Screen size meaning the screen size of the iPad. So I'm just going to click that, and it just creates a canvas that is basically the same screen size as the iPad. All right, so the first thing that you need to know about Procreate is this: rotate and zoom. So right here you have the canvas, and what you can do is just basically use two of your fingers and rotate the canvas however you want, and also zoom in to the canvas like this. You can zoom in, just pinch and zoom. See, that is easy. So that is the first thing that you basically need to know: rotate and zoom. Number two, brush. Why do you use any drawing software? To draw something. And what do you need to draw something? You need a pencil or a brush. And here you have on top right, the brush tool. And right here on the left, you have all the categories of brushes that are there in Procreate. You got sketching brushes, inking brushes, drawing brushes, calligraphy, painting. These all come inbuilt, into the software. So right now we're just going to simply sketch something. So we're just going to choose a sketching brush. Right here, I have a sketching category, and right here, I'm just selecting the 6B pencil. You can select a different pencil if you want to, but I'm selecting the 6B. Boom. Now I've selected the brush, and I'm simply gonna, make little marks right here, right? But these marks are too big. So I can actually go here on the left, right here. I have the size option, the slider on the top left. This is the brush size controller. I can basically, decrease the size of the brush to give thinner strokes, or increase the size of the brush to give thicker strokes, or I can reduce the opacity, that is the bottom slider, to give very light ones, or just fully dark ones. So that is the size and opacity slider on the left. And this is how you use the brush tool. Now, you've created all these marks. You know what? I don't like them. You got to get rid of them. How do you do that? You got the eraser tool. Boom, right there. And the thing with the eraser tool as well is you can choose any kinds of brush that you want for the eraser. Basically like any drawing software that is out there. And I am going to go to airbrush and select the medium hard airbrush for erasing all the dirty marks that we just made. So select that, increase the brush size, and erasing the whole thing. Boom, gone. Now I'm just going to go back to my brush, reduce the size, and now I'm going to start drawing something. You know what? Let's just draw a simple circle and a simple cartoony sun, right? I'm just quickly just scribbling, and got two eyes, right, like that. And then the sun is sort of sticking its tongue out, and then you got all the sun rays, which sort of I'm just making it look like some sort of like a bubbly thing. So there you have it. I've designed and drawn a sun. We've basically used the software what it's meant to do. We've drawn something. Now again, going back to the eraser, I don't like the tongue. I'm going to get rid of that. Boom, gone. And here's another tool that we often use when it comes to painting in Procreate, which is this, the Smudge tool. The Smudge tool, like the eraser tool and the brush tool, you can choose any kind of brush that you want. Again, we're going to choose the medium hard airbrush. Let's say I want to smudge the eyes right here. You know what? I don't like these eyes. I want to smudge it to make it look like this. It's worse, and I think I need to get rid of it. So what do? Undo it. And that is the next tool, the fifth tool, which is undo. Right here on this side, you got the undo tool and the redo tool. So this is the redo, this is the undo. So basically undo and redo, simple, right? You can basically also do it with 2 fingers or 3 fingers, which is redo. 2 fingers for undo, 3 fingers for redo. You just need to tap on the screen. That's it. Now the 6th tool that you need to know is this, creating a new layer. Right here on the top right corner is the Layers tab. Right here you can create a new layer. Now if you just simply press this plus icon right here, a new layer is created. And you can simply press undo to get rid of that new layer. Now whichever layer you select and then press this plus icon, a new layer is created on top of that selected layer. So if I press this layer 1, select this layer 1 and create a new layer is created on top of that selected layer. So right here on the very top right, you've got the color palette, and the color palette has different, displays. You got the disc type color palette, then you got the classic, you got the harmony one. I never use these things, values, none of these things actually matter. I always use the classic. And you have the hue slider right here to choose a color. I'm gonna go ahead and choose some sort of like a yellow, like that. And then go back to my brush, select airbrush, medium hard airbrush, and then boom, I'm just filling in the sun like that. And then I can go back to the color picker, lighten my color, and then reduce my brush size and do this like that. Now if I feel like I need to pick this yellow color again, but I know I don't have to go to my color palette tool. How do I do it? Simply press this box icon on the left hand side. If you press this, you get a color picker where you can basically pick any color. You can even pick this red and make the eyes of the sun red like that. Again, it's not good, so let's press our undo, and that is a color picker. Now going back to our 6th tool, under layers, you got different options and blend modes with layers. So if you press this N right here, it brings up all the different kinds of blend mode that a layer has. We usually use multiply a lot in this course, and also other things like add, color dodge, and things. So all you need to do is you don't have to know everything in this blend mode thing. You just need to basically understand, how these things work by simply just playing with them. So what I'm going to do is, first, I want to create a new layer on top of our colors layer and put that layer on this multiply blend mode. And then I'm going to go to my color picker and then select some sort of a very desaturated purple, like that. And then if I simply just draw on top, see, it doesn't come as purple. It blends in, it multiplies with the layer underneath it, the colors underneath it, and then it reacts with it. But if I just simply put it on white, see the difference in color. But if I put it right here, see the difference in color. Now I'm going I just want this new layer's colors to be only limited to the boundaries of the layer underneath it. So that's where the layer options come in. If you just simply click on the image icon of any particular layer, you get these options like alpha lock, mask, clipping mask, invert, reference, merge down, and combine, and everything does what it basically says. So what we are going to do here is press clipping mask, and what that does is it limits all the contents of your new layer to the boundaries of the layer underneath it. So that's what a clipping mask is. It's very, very, very simple. The next tool is the select tool. Let's say you just want to, probably like move a section of these shadows away. You know what? I don't like these shadows. So right here, you got this S icon, right? This is the select tool. And you have different kinds of select options right here. You can use the freehand selection tool like this, or press clear and get rid of that, or the automatic selection tool, which does a very horrible job at selecting things, so I never recommend you use that. So let's clear that. A rectangular selection tool, like that, or an elliptical selection tool, like that. So these three things are something that I use often. I use very, very often. Now, I just want to simply, just move the shadows a bit, right? So I'm just going to use my freehand selection tool. And I just want to move all the shadows except the shadow right here on this eye. So I'm just going to select that. And to move, that would be our ninth tool, is this arrow icon. Simply move it around. See, I moved it and just this is there, right? Now, if you're not happy with your selection and movement, you can simply click reset. It will go back to where it was. So that would be our ninth tool. Now for the last one, the 10th one, which is this right here, this little magic one on top right here, right? This is called adjustments. You've got different options right here. Don't worry about them. We only use hue, saturation, and brightness 99% of the time. So any layer you want to do adjustments on, select that particular layer, go to this magic wand and select hue, saturation, brightness. Get two options, layer and pencil. Don't worry about it right now. Let's just select layer. It just acts on the whole layer. And if you just change up the hue, it just changes the hue of that particular layer. Look at this. Now I'm just changing it up. You can completely play with the saturation here as well, or the brightness. Boom, like that. And if you're not happy, just press outside and press undo, right? Just tap with your two fingers and it goes away. So I'm happy with this adjustment. I can also adjust the sun layer underneath it. I'm going to select that layer, go to adjustments, hue, saturation, and brightness, layer. I'm changing the color of the sun to, like a blue, turquoise blue, like that. So those are the tools. These are the 20% that you need to know to get 80% of your results. Now, what you need to do right now is just take these tools, use them often, and slowly over time, learn all the intricate tools and details of the software, and then you're good to go, right? That's how you learn any software. That's how I learned Procreate. I didn't, just know every single tool that is out there in the software. You just start using the basic ones, and slowly, as things require, right? When necessities are created, you learn tools, and when you learn things out of necessity, you'll remember that way longer than just you simply learning everything for the sake of learning. So that is it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.